So I think in sports, there's always a lesson to be learned. And I think most of the lessons that are actually learned in sports go deeper than the surface level. It's very complex.
Sports gives a lot of great lessons. It teaches you self-discipline, teamwork, organization skills, being timely with different things. And as you get done with sports and you wrap that up and then go into the real life, it's such an easy transition from one another.
So around the age of 13 to 14, I started thinking about tennis in a different way. And I really started to realize how complex of a sport it is and how much is really going on. And there's a lot more going on than you think.
Tennis is very complex with foot movement skills, with hand-eye coordination, with backswings, serving, all the different things. It can be very tricky for sure. But when we have an athlete comes into PFP, how we approach it is just go back to the fundamentals with the shuffling, changing directions, sprinting, then increasing their overhead strength, and just all the things like that is going to help develop a tennis player or any other athlete that has all these specific needs in their sport perform to their highest level.
So I'd say about 6 to 7 months in, I really started to notice a difference after coming to PFP consistently. And I really just learned a lot about how important mindset is and how it plays a major role in our sports and our lives. And when I first started at PFP, I remember goblet squatting maybe 50, 60 pounds. And first time I did 95, I thought that was good. And then now I'm doing the hex bar at 315 for 3 reps. And that's a milestone that if you told me a couple years ago, I would have never thought I'd be able to do, but now I can do it comfortably.
Mindset's so important. If you don't have a strong mindset, then it's always going to set you back in sports. So that's why we are very, very dialed in with our athletes on how can we level them up physically, but mentally as well, because I know for me as a former athlete, I was such a head case. I was always in my head. If we can clear some of those thoughts and they can learn how to continue to overcome challenges, overcome mistakes, they're going to be so much better off than maybe their fellow athlete.
So I would say that PFP has really helped my mindset. So on our athletic programs that they give us, they put down weights and the amount of reps that the goal is. And through their coaching, they also really help, the athletes do better than these goals. And I always have ended up surprising myself every day I come here by doing better than the goal that was originally set for me.
How PFP customize our program is looking at the athlete's needs. Where do they need to level up on? Is it mobility? Is it strength? Is it instability in some areas? You'll never have a same program as, let's say, a baseball player and a football player. So that's why when we have an athlete come in, we always try to see where we can progressively overload them, but also keeping it safe where we're deloading some weeks so we're not pushing them outside their comfort level.
Goal setting is one of the most important things I've learned because it really helps give a direction to something you're doing.
It's always looking at short-term goals that we can achieve. If we're setting long-term goals, it might not be as achievable and you might not be as motivated to get there. So making sure maybe in a program, it's can we hit this by the end of the 4 or 3 weeks that we're doing it? And if yes, perfect, then that's how we program to continue to get better and better and better. But that's really how PFP dials in with our athletes to make sure they're hitting their goals, making sure they're succeeding in their lifts and also on the field or court.
It's good to take things one step at a time because a lot of the time we look at things with the big picture from the start. We don't think about all the little steps that go into something. So when you take things one moment at a time, it really helps break it down and make it easier to digest. And that goes back to PFP because when I first started, there are weights I definitely could not have hit that I'm hitting today. And I didn't start from there. I had to start from, the beginning and work my way up to that. So I think by understanding that you can't jump to the end when you haven't even started,
George, we're so proud of you. You've came a long way from when you first started. You've came out of your shell, your confidence has grown, you have become a leader, and we're just so excited to see what the future holds for you. Keep crushing it.